Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of the Gamersgrove podcast. Today is Sunday, February 11th. I'm your host, Will, here with my co-host, Brady.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, so no Austin this week. He got a bit held up with school and other work-related things, so you get a nice little intimate podcast with just me and Brady today. So first and foremost, I want to go over a few things that have just changed since last week, and things I forgot to mention last week. First of all, that nice little intro music that you just heard was made by my buddy Baraka about 3 years ago. So thank you to him for making that for us. You can find him on SoundCloud at Frankie Jack's Nomad. He makes a lot of really cool music, so check him out if you'd like. I owe him big time for making that for me. I didn't say anything last time because I thought I didn't know if we had the file, so I didn't think to mention it, but we do, so there it is. Also, we now have a Facebook group that y'all can join or like. It's a Facebook page, I guess. We have our website that is now up and running. By the time y'all will be listening to this, we will have an article on there for you to read. A lot of fun stuff. I think that's about everything. Brady, did I miss anything that's changed since last week?
No, you could. Our website's gamersgrove.net, and we have a group and page. You could just search Gamersgrove and we'll come up.
That's right. Oh yeah, and then for the Facebook page, if you want to find us there, it's at Gamersgrove Media. We weren't able to snag Gamersgrove for certain Texas related reasons. But with all that out of the way, let's jump right into it with games we've been playing. I'm going to start off this time since you got to start last time, Brady. I got a Nintendo Switch from, my girlfriend bought me a Nintendo Switch as a surprise gift, along with Breath of the Wild, and holy crap, it is as good as everybody has said. I'll try not to talk about it too much because it's been talked to death at this point. But man,
have you been playing it like more hooked up to a TV or like mobile, like just handheld?
I'm about 50-50 right now. Like I have a pretty big size TV, so it is really nice to play on there. But it's also really fun to play on the handheld version. I actually took it to work with me a couple of days ago, and I spent the majority of my shift just playing that, just in between little gaps and stuff. It works really nice. There's no frame rate issues or tearing or anything like that. It runs surprisingly well. It's great. It's nice to like have a little mobile platform to play on again. I can see this, like I'm gonna bring this thing with me everywhere. It's a dream come true.
Oh yeah, it's like, it's like one step up from something like a DS or PS Vita or whatever PlayStation has now.
Yeah, they nailed it like with this thing. It's awesome. But to talk on Zelda just a little bit, I gotta say a little bit about it because I love this game so much. Nintendo nailed it like way back in the day when Zelda was first made. Shigeru Miyamoto had said that he created Zelda with the intention of capturing that feeling of adventure you'd feel when you're a kid, out in the park and exploring, climbing trees and whatever, getting that sense of adventure. And he hit the nail on the head with this game. It's so cool. You really can just go anywhere and do anything you want at any point in time. The game looks beautiful. It has almost like a Studio Ghibli kind of vibe and style to it, which is just great. It's got it all. It's super fun. It even like it kind of drops off a bit the more you play, but in the beginning, like kind of when you're in the tutorial area, it has a really cool like aura of mystery and like exploring the unknown, which I really dig. The cities you go through are all ruined, so there's a lot of like, what happened here, what's going on, and then of course you figure that out as the plot progresses. But I liked that initial feeling of just the mystery of it all. It's a great game. I honestly recommend everybody at some point in their life try it out. It deserves every award it has won, and every award I'm sure it will win. It is just that good of an RPG, and it's an awesome game.
Have you been like mainly following a storyline, or if you didn't want to, can you just kind of wander off and do your own thing?
Oh yeah, I personally I like having a little bit of direction. Like true just openness is almost intimidating because I never know what I want to do. So I've been I've been kind of just following the storyline, taking little diversions here and there when I see some cool looking place I want to check out, things like that. But you can like the moment you finish your little like you start like on a plateau that you can't really leave, and it serves as like the tutorial in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
It's like an hour and a half. But once you do that, you can just go anywhere. Like they say cool. Like, hey, like you should go to this place because that's where you should go. But you can just be like, yeah, well, I'm going to go the exact opposite way. And the game's like, all right, cool. You do that, and it's totally fine.
Does the story give you like important items or like things that you need to kind of like enjoy it more? Or can you, if you don't follow it, will you still get like cool stuff?
Well, see, here's the like, yes and no. I skipped out on what's the word for it? I didn't go to the main area you're supposed to go like after completing the tutorial for a good like 4 hours.
Oh wow.
And I still had a great time. Like I was just running around exploring, finding people, going to villages, helping out in the ways I could, things like that. And I had a great time. However, the moment like once I did go to that area and I unlocked the rest of like the abilities from my main items, it showed me how to do like counters and stuff. Then my enjoyment went up even more. So it's like, yes, like it does help to do some of the main story first, but you really don't need to. It's just as enjoyable with or without. It might make things easier if you do that stuff right out the gate, but you by no means need to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It's great. I'll have to have you play it next time you ever come to visit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need to get my hands on the Switch.
Outside of that, though, I've been playing a lot of Rust again. Rust, God, almost makes me mad to even think about it. Rust just came out of early access. For those who don't know, after about 4 years of development, it is now a full release game. They upped the price. They made it all official. So all of us here at the Gamersgrove took that as an opportunity to reinstall and dive back into the game and play a bit of it to see how it's changed. And it's fun. It's also very frustrating.
Yeah,
but
I don't think that's like the game that's making it frustrating. It's more of just the community and
it's
everyone that plays the game. But that's any open world survival.
Yeah, that is true. It's still fun. The game is solid. It looks great. It's like Brady said. It's not the game's fault where any of the frustration comes from. It's the chaotic, psychotic community that is behind it.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good showcase for Unity because it was made in Unity, and like it looks so nice. Like it caught me off guard by how much like it's changed since back when it first was released early access. Like it looks so good and it's so smooth.
It is surprising, especially like I remember back when I was in college doing my game development degree. Pretty much all the students would, at all costs, whenever we had to do any projects or make any games, we would avoid using Unity because we all hated it so much. And everyone was always like, Unity's a garbage engine, it can't make any good games, blah, blah, blah. But like,
man,
I mean, there's definitely, it's not so much that Unity sucks. It's just that we sucked and didn't know what we were doing because clearly Unity can make good games.
Yeah.
Rust is a well-made game.
Everyone has their preference.
That is true. Also, I guess, by the time you guys are listening to this, I wrote an article on Rust. Hopefully y'all who are listening may have read it by now. It'll be out Monday, which will be yesterday when you're listening to this.
The 12th.
Yes, the 12th. So you can get a bit more. I just kind of I wrote about our experiences and how that went, and yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. There'll be more like that to come. There's really not a whole lot to say about Rust. I mean, it was kind of one of the first big open world early access survival games, and now we've seen billions of them since then.
Oh, so many.
It's
so many open world, multiplayer, early access.
That's
Those
the
three.
wombo combo right there.
Yeah, the wombo combo.
Yeah, if you're a new developer and you want to make a quick, easy game, open world survival early access, bam. Guaranteed a couple $1 million.
Yeah, right. God.
And then outside of that, as per usual, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, like always.
Fortnite.
I've been playing it a lot, especially because Rebecca got really into it. So I generally get a couple games in a night with her. It once again had more updates added to it. They had their Valentine's Day update, which it's cool. It's they added a crossbow to the game, just like another option for sniping.
Yeah,
which is
like
cute.
PUBg.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just like PUBG's thing. More new skins, that sort of stuff. Something that is it's not necessarily part of this update, but something they did just release. One of the big issues a lot of people have with Fortnite is I guess to compare it to PUBG, this is the way I always explain it when people ask the difference. PUBG is really focused around gunplay.
Yeah.
Where Fortnite is more focused on the building mechanics and kind of outplaying people, not so much like, how good of a sniper are you kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so because of that, Fortnite's shooting mechanics are a bit janky. A lot of times bullets are just kind of, it's really like you could be right on the mark with your crosshair and there's a little bit of random chance as just to where your bullet's going to spray. And Epic Games is like openly admitted this. But so they're making they put out this new, like, I guess a custom game mode that they just called Shooter Test. And it's basically, they focused on just tweaking the crap out of the shooting mechanics to try and make it more accurate, less random, in hopes that things will just get better.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is really cool. I didn't get the chance to play it myself. They said that, like, you don't really get any rewards for your account or anything for playing that mode, so I said, why bother?
Yeah, I mean, true. But I hope if they fix that, because I like PUBG a lot more than Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Fortnite. It's kind of cartoony and maps not as big as PUBG. But the main reason is just the like gunfights are just not even fun. Like having so much RNG when you're trying to outskill someone with like shooting them. It's super annoying.
I agree. It's my biggest gripe with Fortnite right now. It's the same thing. Like, I honestly, whenever I play, I just find a shotgun and run up on them because I don't need to aim when it's a shotgun in somebody's face. It's
seriously.
gonna hit them. But so yeah, it seems at least they've made it clear that they are aware of the issue, so they're gonna work on that, which is nice to see. Hopefully, they get the data they need and can improve the game. Because
for sure,
I love Fortnite. It is fun. I like that it's like, I love PUBG too. PUBG is like for when I want to like be real intense and serious. But like I like that I can just jump into a Fortnite game and kind of chill out and like have a good time. So if they fix that would be great.
Maybe they're trying new things like this because they're shutting Paragon down. So they might merge the team over the Paragon team into one of their other games, or spread them out maybe so they have more resources to commit to different problems or improving or updating the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that I guess now that Paragon is gone, they have more resources that they can put into Fortnite. So
yeah, because I think that's definitely like one of their most popular, if not their like main game right now.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's huge.
Their big money maker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes total sense. I guess. Well, honestly, that's really that's all we have to say this time around for games we played. We kind of have been playing a lot of the same stuff. We do have a decent amount. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to mention last week. So I talked about Age of Empires Definitive Edition and how it's in closed beta, but I forgot there's something that has been bothering me that I didn't mention. So in order to play the game, so it wasn't on Steam or anything, no launcher, because it's Microsoft Studios, so they're trying to Xbox and Windows 10 and everything. You had to download an app from the Windows 10 store, and then from that app you had to download another app like the Xbox Insider, and then from the Xbox Insider you downloaded the game, and that is ridiculous.
What the hell?
I hope they just bring it to Steam or some other launcher. Like having this how am I going to find friends that or no other friends that play it, that aren't on Steam or another, Origin or anything else. Super annoying. Just wanted to mention it real fast because it was bothering me.
That is a pain. I remember I think they ended up shutting it down, but like back in the day, I remember all the 40K games had it, but they had like the Windows gaming thing they always had to sign into. A lot of games had that. I think they shut that down though because it just like everybody hated it so much.
Yeah, it was really stupid. I did kind of like because all my friends were still playing Xbox, and I was on PC where you could kind of communicate with people that were playing Xbox on the PC with that.
You could do that?
Yeah, you could I just remember briefly you could kind of see other people who are online because it was with
Microsoft.
Microsoft. So, but yeah, it was. I think them shutting it down was probably for the better.
Oh yeah, I mean So hopefully this isn't their way of trying to bring that back. I think.
Oh God.
All launchers just need to give it up and just let Steam do their thing because you're not going to convince like pretty much all of the PC gaming community to move over to a different platform. At this point, Steam is way too well established.
Yeah, and it has a loyal following.
Yeah, exactly.
To Gaben.
Praise to Gaben. All right, well, with all that said, let's jump over to the news. The first and probably the biggest piece of news for a majority of the people out there is the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer dropped a couple days ago, and it looks pretty cool. It has been, just for in case any of you are wondering, it has been 12 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. So
such a long time.
Yeah, and well, in between that time, there has been a ton of Kingdom Hearts games that have come out, but they're not
as big.
Yeah, they're not part of the main story. It's been like a lot of for like the PSP and things like that. This is the first big Kingdom Hearts console game to come since Kingdom Hearts 2. In the trailer, something I noticed was there seemed to be a big inclusion of Pixar this time.
Yes,
that is so cool.
Yeah, I think they're trying to bring something different, but that's like a territory that really no one's been into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be interesting and cool to see the worlds they build. I saw like Monsters Inc. and Toy Story.
Yeah, they definitely they heavily showcase those two, but I wonder will there be more? Could we get a WALL-E world, an Incredibles world?
An underwater Nemo world.
that would be really cool. I mean, even hell, if they wanted, I guess I doubt this. I heavily doubt this, but technically there could be a Marvel world and a Star Wars world.
Oh yeah,
they're Disney IPs.
Yeah, and then if Fox, they get Fox, be even more.
Yeah, Alien world. Let's get that in there. Oh my god.
Yeah,
but it looks cool. So I mean, I'm sure I don't like actually know how long they've been developing it. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really doubt they've been developing it these past 12
yeah,
years.
exactly.
That would be absurd.
Yeah, and pull a rock star or something.
Yeah. But either way, like it's looking to be it's shaping up to look really nice. I played a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1. I never touched 2 because I was never able to finish 1, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was really fun. I always thought it was a pretty cool concept and a rad world to explore, so I'd be down to get back into that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Oh yeah. Well, to go from there, we talked a bit last week on Red Dead 2 stuff, and really we just talked about the delay. But since then, there has been I don't know. This isn't confirmed. These guys are claiming it's like it is confirmed, but it's not really. But there's been leaks for some of Red Dead 2's gameplay and what to expect from the online multiplayer and stuff. So basically, I'll list them out real quick, and then we can talk a little bit on each of them. So there is going to be a first-person mode, a battle royale, the return of apartments in online mode, and a companion app. So, of all of those, the first-person apartments and the companion, I think, are 100% going to happen. Rockstar did first-person mode in GTA 5, and it was a big hit. A lot of people really liked that, and it was really cool. I'd be okay with that. I don't see why they wouldn't do that,
Yeah. I don't think it's anything too hard for them to do either.
Yeah, and then with the apartments, if any of you guys out there have never played GTA 5 online, basically you can buy an apartment and live in it. It's kind of like your safe haven and base where you and all your friends can meet up and plan heists and so on and so forth. And from the way Rockstar has been behaving in the past, years, like 5-6 years since GTA 5 came out, they've very heavily shifted over to online play. So it's really no surprise to see that they're bringing, stuff like apartments back. Obviously, it's not apartments this time. It's going to be like teepees and tents and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think, speaking of apartments, I think they could kind of build off that because maybe, kind of Wild West area, you could have like some sort of ranch or, maybe like more property than just a house or an apartment. And, you could maybe have, some sort of money generating thing, on your land or, something. I feel like they could, expand it more than they do in just GTA.
That is, man, I'm glad I have you because you think of a lot of things that I would never have thought of. But that's a good point. Yeah, you could like own property maybe. Like that'd be pretty cool. If I could get a cow farm, I'm in 100%.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like, just maybe place to keep, some livestock and, like some other horses, or maybe you can have like, I don't know. You could kind of do a lot with it.
I think it's definitely, I think you're in the right ballpark. Like that, it's definitely going to be a step up from GTA 5's online stuff. Just they've said like they've learned a lot, and I'm sure they plan to do even more now with the online mode this time around. So it's gonna be all kinds of crazy stuff in there. So I'm sure we're just scraping the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, if they do add the battle royale, that'll be something else.
Yeah, it's interesting because GTA 5, I mean, not even just GTA 5, but like most of Rockstar's games that included multiplayer, I guess outside of like Max Payne 3, open world multiplayer is kind of their thing.
Yes.
And it makes sense. Like if this is true, it totally makes perfect sense that they would make a battle royale mode. Battle royale is like the thing right now. PUBg and Fortnite both being like, pulling in a couple million players a day, so
insane.
It's no shock that they want to get on that train. But like, I don't know. I'm intrigued and also like worried because I think at this point, you have to when if you're gonna mimic something that's a game mode that's been made, you need to develop it in a way that it sets yourself apart from the other ones. Because if it's just like if it's PUBg in the Wild West, then
exactly.
Like
that's
I could just go play PUBg.
Yep. Yeah.
So I wonder what they'll do differently, because I don't think them going, yeah, but it's Red Dead themed is enough. And I think Rockstar, I hope I know that Rockstar is smart enough to also know that. I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're pretty damn smart guys.
I'm sure they're thinking of that.
Yeah, but it's to get back to what I was even saying about it before. I wonder like it would almost take away from their open world, because I feel like if it is true and they make it and it's really a big hit, and everyone's just gonna play it for that, which I guess they don't care, is people are playing their game either way. But it would make me sad if like the open world was just a complete ghost town because everybody's in battle royale mode.
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because like I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption online when it came out, and it was fun and it was cool because like it was a lot of people played it and the world was very alive. And then I revisited it like a year ago and it was depressing because it was like not a soul in sight. But I'd be a little bummed out if battle royale like took away from their own audience.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just like a little personal gripe. They don't care. Player is a player playing the game is a player playing the game.
True. Also, random thought: how would you drop in? Would you be like, were biplanes a thing? Like,
that's a good That's something that's been in the back of my mind too. Yeah, like how do you start? I guess they could do it like more classic Hunger Games style, where like
that's what I was
start
thinking
in a
of.
big ring in the middle.
Yep, I was
That'd
thinking
be
of that.
Cool.
But I don't know how that'd work out. But yeah,
that could be a good or bad thing.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. I guess we'll find out soon, considering it comes out October. It's not very far away. I'm sure E3 will bring more details. Well, actually, Rockstar doesn't really go to E3.
No, you're right. Yeah, Rockstar's, they're sealed tight, so they honestly don't even really need to advertise much or do anything. It's just the like build up alone is enough for people to.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. Like they rarely go to E3. They rarely go to really any conventions. They're just like, hey, here's our next game, and then it just like flies off the shelves.
Yep,
that's all they do. The last piece that I mentioned was the companion app. Basically, what that is according to the article, which I will link in the description, it's like another mobile app that'll be released alongside the game. That's something they exactly did for Grand Theft Auto 5. So it would not surprise me if they did it again. I don't know what it could include. Like the Grand Theft Auto 5 one was like, take care of Chop the dog, customize your car's license plate, things like that. So I don't know, what you could do for the Pimp My Horse Wagon. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But that's another one. I feel like outside of the Battle Royale, I think these are basically guaranteed. Like these are guarantees, It is just like an unconfirmed leak, but like why there's no reason they wouldn't have these things in,
Yeah, and I mean, companion apps are kind of like on the rise the past couple of years, so I feel like it's just any AAA game like that will just have a companion app.
Oh yeah,
why even if it doesn't do much. Yeah, exactly. Just to have their name on the app store.
That's true. It's a good way to get more people in and just get your name out there. Like you said, your name's on the app store. People go and find your actual game. That's really all there is to say about that. But in the spirit of Battle Royale games, we had a lot more Battle Royale games announced this week. So one of those is Egress. It's just to give you a brief rundown of it, it's a Victorian era Lovecraftian themed Souls-like combat game. That's a
Quite the
mouthful.
description. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they didn't give a lot of details basically outside of saying like this is the game we're making and it's coming out in early access this year.
Yeah. The
But
short trailer.
yeah, and a very short trailer. They did something that I'm probably one of my favorite parts about like what they've said for it is that it is one big city. It takes place in one big multi-level city.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I think that's rad. It also is going to have heroes with abilities. So I guess like classes you play instead of just you being like a blank slate.
Yeah.
Which
I think it.
that's cool. I think that's really cool, but it also means they have a lot more work they have to do because that's a lot of balancing.
Yeah, I was
about.
just gonna say because especially with class, I don't know. It's just so much balancing to do, and people that take the game seriously will instantly find what class is the best, and just play that class, and then then everyone else figures that out. Then it's like, oh, everyone's playing the same class. It's like, all right, this is fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's one thing for like player unknown to have to like be like this gun does this much damage and shoots this far. Done. Once you have those things figured out, it's set. You don't really need to change much. With for people who play MOBAs, like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm, even Overwatch, really, any game with classes, that's something you always are having to change because like, say you've got 5 classes and one of them's really strong and one of them's really weak. So you make some tweaks to those two and you think you've balanced it out, but then, you just realize by doing that, it made this guy really powerful. Like it's a never ending cycle. So
back and forth.
They have to be, hopefully they're aware of that. They're going to have to really be willing to put in the work to do that. Cause not to say I doubt them. It's, by the way, I didn't mention it. These guys are called Phazan. They've only made like one other game. They're relatively very indie company, so it's hard to say what they're like, but not to discredit them, but like I doubt they're going to be able to get it perfectly balanced out the gate. If people like Blizzard can't do it, then I don't think anybody can.
True.
But also something really interesting that they conveniently or not left out is that they made no mention of how many players would be in a match.
Yes.
And I think this is their having 100 players is the standard for battle royales right now. I think for a game like this, that is a terrible idea. And it's because like the Souls, like if any of you guys have played the Dark Souls games, combat is very tactical. It's slow and it's you got to really plan out your moves and stuff, taking what they're gonna do, all that kind of stuff. And if you have 100 people running around, you're getting like smacked around from every angle. You don't really have time to do all that.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
That was my main thing, was the combat, because it looked like it was primarily, they said it was going to be, there's range things as well, but if it's like all melee, like games are going to be so slow too, just like like having one person like swing and it's like dodge, and then like shoot a fireball or whatever, like it's just going to be like very stale, slow combat. And if there's 100 people, like games will last they'll be so long. And especially in a multi-level city, it's so I don't. I feel like the lack of information might have hurt. Like releasing not as much about the game might hurt them, just because people are kind of like us, theory crafting and thinking of bad situations and everything that will happen.
People may like decide they hate the game before they know anything about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's interesting. I like that they're going way in the other direction in terms of like battle royales. They're mixing it up at basically every point, which I commend them for. That's cool. That's what I like to see. I think they've got a lot of challenges ahead of them. It's gonna be tough. This is gonna be the kind of thing that either just works or just doesn't. Hopefully it does, but we'll see.
I think though, like, since all these battle royale games were so popular, you think you mentioned earlier, you kind of need to stand out and you need to do something different to get the attention, because I mean, everyone's gonna be playing PUBg. It's like, all right, well, why should I go play this game instead of Fortnite or PUBg? So.
Yeah, that is true, and I think like it won't be a matter of like, can they get an audience, because I think you said this to me earlier today, but this year battle royale is like the thing that is the game mode of the year. Before that it was open worlds, before that it was MOBAs, like there's always a thing, and right now it's battle royale. So definitely. I don't think they're not going to be struggling to find an audience. Like, even people, all those diehard PUBg fans will see this and be like, let's check that out. It's a battle royale. Let's see what it's like, So everyone will try it out. It'll be a matter of, can they keep people?
Yeah, exactly. Retain their player base.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of retaining, I wonder if it'll be free or if it'll be like how much it'll cost.
That is a good question.
How much did PUBg cost? Was it
PUBG,
60 or is it 40 or
PUBG
20?
Is $40.
Okay.
I think because during early access it was 20.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I don't think $60 for like one game mode game is.
Yeah, I don't think
bad.
I don't think they'll go that far.
Yeah, if it's like $20, then it's kind of like, it's only $20. I'll try it out. But if it's more than that, it might be, people might not want to go out of their comfort zone to spend the money.
That is true. I think shoot, I lost my train of thought. I think that like it'll depend. Yeah, they do have a an open beta, or not open, a closed beta that you can sign up for right now. Well, me and Brady tried.
Yeah,
didn't work.
Website's broken, but
yeah. Hopefully they'll have that working. Maybe by the time y'all are listening to this, if any of you are interested in that. But so I guess it'll go from there. I can't imagine it'll be free. Like, if,
if they're
doing,
just throw it out there though.
Yeah. I think because the fact that they're having like, hey, sign up for beta means that like it's gonna be like a priced release. Hopefully, I don't think going more than 40 is a mistake. Like, if they do 40, I'll be fine. That's fair.
They better have more than battle royale though.
Or it better be really, really well balanced, pristine, and fleshed out. God, I can only imagine like this. I'm excited for it though. Nonetheless, like Victorian era, I'm in. Lovecraftian, I'm in. Like, it's got all the things I love. It'll just be a matter of them doing it right. Like I mean, just to repeat what I said, like Souls, with the Souls gameplay, I don't see how you can do that, because like Souls combat is one-on-one. Like, that's kind of the thing. You don't fight multiple people.
Yeah.
So it would really suck if there is 100 people in that match and you're having an intense one-on-one battle, and then some random jackass runs up from the side and just backstabs you.
Yeah, that's my main concern. It's just how they'll do this combat kind of thing. And also, like if they do the classes, I don't know. I feel like ranged would be way better than, because they have like ranged and melee. If it's not, I don't know. They have a lot to balance.
They do. Well, I mean, if it's going off of again, obviously, I'm just purely basing this off Dark Souls because it's from their own words. But if it is ranged combat in the same sense as Dark Souls is, then it would be a disaster to be ranged, because ranged in Dark Souls is terrible. Like it's like your opening move before you go into use melee. And if they do it like that, then that would kind of suck too, because I would like to have the option to be like a pure, like, maybe bow and arrow, or blunderbuss using kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I feel like they just have a lot to balance.
They do, but they have our attention, so I guess they're in. Exactly. They got that going for them. The other battle royale game that was announced this week is called Fear the Wolves. It is a post-apocalypse Russian, I guess,
Yeah,
game.
like
It's
I think it's in Chernobyl
yeah,
or the ruins.
it's made by the former developers of the Stalker games. If any of you guys have heard of those games, it's a open world RPG set in Chernobyl. You know, you play like a scavenger kind of guy, just going out in the world and scavenging and staying alive kind of thing. And they're great games. They're awesome games. So that's good. I think they can, that genre is like their thing.
Yes, yeah, they mastered that.
But they said even less, like in their announcement. they did say it's going to be 100 players.
Yeah.
The other things they mentioned really as their kind of standouts in terms of mechanics and stuff is radiation, anomalies, and a dynamic weather system. I don't really know how a weather system is going to come into play with like me shooting a guy.
Yeah, I mean maybe visibility, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah, exactly. But like even then, like that's not that big of a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little
But
darker.
I think when they say like anomalies though, I think they'll have some sort of like third party like AI computer, you know, like not zombie, but you know something of the like, you know, around, and you have to deal with them as well as players. That's what I think that it'll be.
Well,
I mean, thinking of back at, you know, Stalker games.
yeah, I was gonna say to give you an example from a Stalker game. It's a weird thing because like anomalies in the Stalker games are like unseen forces, so to speak. You know, you could be walking around and then there's like a little seismic implosion that just happens just in that one spot, and like that's an anomaly. You know, things like that. Like, so they could play with that in a lot of ways. It's hard to say. Again, like with all these things, it's really just we're just purely theory crafting. Like we're taking all this from articles that are like a paragraph long.
Yeah.
So we could be right on the money. We could be way off. Who knows?
Yeah, and something else though that is definitely worth noting, and it's almost worrying, is they have their other game like Survium or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still in early access. Like it's been in early access since 2015. It's, you know, they're coming out with a new game, but they haven't finished like another game. You know, I don't know.
That is concerning. Survarium wasn't very well received.
No,
it just looked like a bad knockoff of Stalker, and considering they're the guys who made Stalker, like that's not good.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Yeah, that is definitely something to consider and worry about. The fact that like, what does that mean for, you know, Survarium? Are they just gonna drop it? Are they gonna finish it?
So I that's what I think. Are they just abandoning it? Which, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at the rate that early access games are getting abandoned, especially in open world survival multiplayer game. So, yeah,
it definitely wouldn't be the most shocking thing to ever happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I think it's, if your game flops, own up to it and just be like, look, you know, our game sucked. We don't really want to work on it anymore. We want to work on this now.
Yeah, at least take it out of early access.
Yeah, maybe try and finish it up and be done with it.
Yeah.
And then one last, I guess the last piece of news and the last also Battle Royale related thing, PUBg, surprisingly enough, it only happened just now. They saw their first decline in their player base since release.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy just in itself, just because PUBg has been out for a good while now. You know, maybe 6 months or more. It's been out for a good amount of time. For a game to have come out that long ago and its player base be continuously rising for this long and only just now start to drop off, that's absurd. Like most games like make it like 2 weeks and then their player base starts to dwindle.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like even successful games, you know, like it's one of those things like everybody tries it and then, you know, it finds its audience and it settles down a bit, and then the people who didn't like it stop playing it. But this game is PUBG's just been going up, up and up and up. I actually have the exact numbers. It has dropped. Well, when this was news that came out like last Wednesday, I think, around that time.
Yeah, I think it's about it.
They had a 1.74% decline in player base, which for PUBG is about 27,000 people.
So, I mean, you could look at it, one way where like, oh, it's a small amount, but I feel like how much it's been growing, it is a big amount. So like it's like every month is like 20-30%.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just not, it's not growing at all, but it's declining.
Mm-hmm.
It could be.
I think there's a few possibilities for what it might be. Something Austin actually mentioned last week is they just rolled out a new ban wave against a lot of cheaters. They said they banned about like 1 million cheaters. And generally, like, what happens in a lot of games when cheaters get their accounts banned is they just buy the game again.
Yep, exactly.
And go right back to it. So,
but maybe all these Chinese players getting banned don't want to spend the money to buy the game again. So,
I mean, yeah, they could go cheat in Fortnite for free. So,
yeah.
And I mean that is another option that for what it might be is just that there's starting to be other battle royale games to play.
More competition.
There's more competition in the field. People just maybe are getting tired of PUBG at this point, Yeah. It's like, I mean, they're good about putting out updates and stuff, but there's only so much you can play like 2 maps for before you're like, okay, all right, I've seen it. I've seen it all. And then also, this is something that Brady, you like just showed me. There's a mobile PUBG game for, I think just for China.
Yeah, just China.
But it's like straight up PUBG on a phone.
Yeah, it's like almost like surprisingly well made. I think Tencent published it, but there's actually 2. One's not really like a battle royale, but it's kind of just uses the name, but. Yeah, like it looks so like it just looks like PUBG but on your phone. Like it's crazy.
That was nuts. I was surprised as we were watching the footage together, and it was just like, wow, this is just PUBG on my phone. And the Chinese makes up a big portion of PUBG's audience. So and I do know in Asian countries, mobile gaming is a lot more popular than it is over in America. So like bigger. It wouldn't surprise me if this mobile game is like pulling from the PUBG audience. We might see PUBG's player count continue to decline if this if this game really hits off. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, we'll keep updates keep you guys updated about the decline though. But yeah, I think honestly this game will I think it'll grow, and we'll see if it has anything to do with the decline. But yeah, I think it'll be big in China.
It'd be funny if PUBG is the death of PUBG. That's really all we have in terms of news. Big shocker. It's been another slow week. That's kind of the thing with gaming stuff is, there's not as many big things to cover week by week, but we make do. We'll always have stuff to talk about for y'all. To give you a closer, we actually do, funny enough, after I just talked about how there's no news to talk about, the upcoming week is the DICE Awards, and that's on the 22nd. So we are going to be, our next podcast is really just going to be mainly covering that. We're going to go really in depth into each category, what games are nominated and what we feel like, we want to win or what should win and so on and so forth. And yeah, that'll be like the big thing of next week. So you can look forward to that. Just like I like to do. The description will be filled with many links that you can find pretty much everything we talked about today. So I will have a link to the DICE Awards page and all the nominees and all the categories and stuff for you to check out if you want to, formulate your own opinions. Hey, now that we have a Facebook page, you could put it out there. Tell us what you want or what you think should win in what categories, so on and so forth. I think that really about covers it, though, for this week. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Well, no, I got one last thing to say. Just a big thank you to everybody. Last week we did something big. We put out our podcast, and a thing we've been wanting to do for a long time, and it was really well received. We got a lot of support, and we really appreciate it. It's really awesome to have. It's one thing. We're obviously we're doing this because this is something we love to do, and it's fun. That's always that's what comes first. Is we enjoy doing this podcast and writing articles and stuff, but to have that also just be well received by everybody is really cool. So thank you guys for being so supportive and enjoying it. I hope you continue to do so. But yeah, that's really everything. Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you next week.
See everyone next week.
See you around.